Hello and welcome back to the KCC channel. I'm Rob and I hope you're having a wonderful day today. Today we're jumping into some malicious compliance. Our first story today comes to us from Richie65, Office Appropriate Attire. Let's jump right in. This was about 5 years ago. Let's set the stage. I had been with this massive global company, one of its manufacturing divisions, for about 7 years. I was Tier 3 IT support, mostly behind the scenes stuff and online meetings with folks. On call as well. The guy who hired me, Steve, department director, was great. I was, and still am, a jeans and t-shirt. I have like 200 plus silkscreen tees, nothing offensive but pleasantly entertaining. Steve decided to exit the corporate world. I did not want his job. So, massive global company found and hired a new director. Jay and I got along well, I thought, but then I started to see that he was intimidated by my skill set and ability to resolve issues with either a PowerShell script I already had or by a command line, very quickly fixing issues in a matter of seconds using methods that he could not understand. He was a GUI person. Jay started looking for things to discipline me for. Here we go. Jay decided that my wearing t-shirts was unprofessional. What do you mean by unprofessional? It gives the impression to others that you don't respect them and they don't think they can trust you to do your job correctly. Others? Who? Who thinks I can't do my job? Look, I'm not going to argue this. You need to come to work in office appropriate attire, period. So I'm not capable of doing my job unless I'm wearing office appropriate attire, not allowed to do my job unless that is how I am dressed. Bluntly and dismissively, that's it. Then I need to add this kind of specific detail to this write-up. Yeah, he was putting it on paper, so I added that to my comment. Management determined, explained to me, and I now understand that I am not able to perform my work-related tasks in a professional manner unless I'm wearing office-appropriate attire. Then, for about 3 weeks, slacks and polo shirts. On a Friday night, I get a call about 11:15 p.m. I'm on call. There is an issue affecting multiple production lines. None of the computers are connecting to the network, can't print labels, blah blah blah. My plan comes into effect. Full circle ensues. I tell the production supervisor that I can't do anything about it. Really, I just needed to run a script that bounces DHCP on a domain controller, but I digress, because I am not wearing office appropriate attire. He knew what I was referring to, and all of my work clothes were at the dry cleaner, and that I will pick them up on my way to the gym Monday morning. That blew up tremendously as expected, and Jay calls me early Saturday morning, where I, bluntly and dismissively, tell him that this issue is his problem, not mine. He was the one who disciplined me and insisted that I was not able to do my job unless I was wearing office-appropriate attire, and that it is documented that I must be wearing office-appropriate attire in order to do my job, and that this will be happening on Monday morning after I pick up my clothes from the dry cleaner. Your rules, buddy, not mine. Have a nice weekend. Then tell me how to fix this. I'm not even wearing pants right now, can't do work stuff. Jay angrily hangs up. Monday, I come in prepared for battle. With HR and Jay and the plant manager in the same room, I spell out how this is going to work. What? If you don't like this, let me know now. If you folks don't think I can do my job wearing a t-shirt and jeans, after doing my job exceptionally well for 7 years wearing a t-shirt and jeans, then this changes when Jay shows up. I promise you that what I'm wearing is not the problem, Jay is. If you see it otherwise, explain it to me. HR and plant manager both say, huh? What? HR, don't play stupid. You saw the write-up and you filed it accordingly, as best as I can recall. I explained the write-up to the plant manager. Plant manager says that is the stupidest thing he's ever heard and ultimately blasts Jay and HR. Plant manager reassures me that this will never happen again, the write-up is garbage, and that if I have any other problems, to let him know. He asks me to fix the production line issue. Pop up my laptop screen, log in, run a PowerShell script and say, should be good in a few minutes. About 6 months later, I suspect that Jay was up to some unscrupulous stuff and found all kinds of proof in his email. Sent that off to the plant manager, and Jay was terminated the next day. Well, OP, this is the true definition of malicious compliance, and I've got to tell you, if somebody asks me to do something in the near future, I'm just going to respond to them that I can't do it because I'm not even wearing pants right now. Do me a quick favor, have a look down below the video. If that subscribe button's still red, it means you're not actually subscribed to the KCC channel. Please hit that subscribe button for more daily Reddit stories. Our next story today comes to us from Phantom Rogers. You think we are too close together? Okay then, let's jump right in. So I'm a swimming teacher, and due to COVID, most of our school classes have been put on hold. When things were getting better, one of the schools which we used to teach told us they want to conduct their school swimming programs again throughout 4 days for 2 weeks. Only this time they will be holding it at a club, since they were the only place which allowed them to book, as public pools still do not allow school program swimming. The pool is an 8-lane pool, and we booked 4 lanes, which we separated in the middle so we can have 8 groups running at one time. Please note that each group consists of 1 swimming teacher and 4 students, and they are not allowed to intermingle as a safety measure. Yes, the students are side by side in the different lanes, but we try to work with what we have, and the school was one who suggested it in order to have the swimming classes. There were members from the club who swim in the swimming pool, and after seeing us teach, complained to the club management that we were all too close together and there was no safety distance between groups. Cue malicious compliance. The club management talks to the school, telling us to either break the classes up to 20-minute classes so that the groups will be smaller, or book the whole pool. So the teacher booked the whole pool. The next day when we came, we told the lifeguards to get the club members, who were the same ones who complained that there was not a safe distance between groups, out, as we had booked the whole pool. We then ensure that all our groups have at least 1 empty lane between each group, and we continue with our classes. Some of the members were unhappy and continued to swim in our lanes, which we booked, swimming over the lane's ropes, which we have set up in the middle, which split the pool in half. We got our lifeguard to get them out, since we booked the whole pool as per management suggestion, and when the members still did not want to come out, called the club management to deal with them. Club management came down and had a chat with the members who were still in the pool and refused to get out, as they had paid good money to be in their club, and we have every right to use your facilities. How dare you allow them to book the whole pool? Which the management and the teachers replied in the tone of, you were the one who complained that the students were not following any safe distance, so we booked the whole pool in order to ensure that our students are safe. Would you want us to continue to book the whole pool for the next few days? The members gave up, and for the rest of the time we were there, we were back to our 4 lanes. Ah yes, the classic, careful what you wish for because you just might get it. It would have been a perfect opportunity for the lifeguard to walk up to these members and just say to them, well, you didn't want to share the pool, so now you don't have to. Get out. Our next story today comes to us from Kilted Turtle. All of my employees wear white shirts. Let's jump right in. This is from the 80s. I was the East Coast expert on a big mainframe company network gear. I was associated with the manufacturing plant, but I did customer site visits to help field engineering either install or more often fix installations that were not working. On customer visits, I was suit and tie. Since I often worked in computer rooms, I never wore white shirts because of the dirt issue. Plus, to be honest, they make me look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow guy. Normal was an up and down striped button down shirt in a blue, pale green, etc. Fly to Boston to work with a sales droid on configuration of a system they were trying to sell to a big bank. Sales droid says minor change. First we need to go to this mandatory sales droid meeting headed up by the regional VP of sales. Fine. Get there, sea of white shirts, ties, and me in my colored shirt. Sit in the 5th row, room has about 50 to 60 droids. Regional VP gets on stage, doing his best excite the troops to go out and sell millions speech, clapping and cheering, etc. Mid-sentence, he sees me and stops. Hey you, where's your white shirt? Look around, figured he may be talking to me, so I point to myself. Yeah, you in the blue shirt, all of my staff. Everyone that works for me wears a white shirt. Okay, good to know, thanks. Thanks? Get out, and don't come back until you're wearing a white shirt. You want me to go and not come back unless I'm wearing a white shirt? Yes, get out now. So I get up, walk to the aisle, turn, and go. Hey, do you know who I am? No, I don't effing know who you are, and I don't effing care. Out. Super. Then for the rest of you, I'm OP, the East Coast expert in networking product out of Plant Name, and I work for the director of engineering there. So I don't work for him, and it's unlikely that I'll be back since I don't own a white shirt. I left, flew home, frantic voicemails from the sales droid about his customer. Next day, dropped into director of engineering's office to give a trip report. He starts, "So, OP, you were a big hit at the sales meeting. VP of Sales called to apologize and wants you to come back." Nope, not going to happen. He comes here wearing a colored shirt and apologizes to me. I'll consider it. He's not going to do that. Fine, not traveling to that region. I'll talk to people on the phone. I can do my job that way just fine. And walked out. Called my sales droid and said we'd work on the phone, not coming back up. Droid not happy but understood. Week later, reception calls that I have a guest. Go to lobby, and there is my director and the regional VP of sales wearing a blue shirt. Best apology ever. OP added an edit onto this story where they answered a question from somebody down below that was asking why it was such a fast apology. He says, "So in the 80s, network stuff was crazy expensive. The networking part of the deal was worth $1 million plus, tying customers' existing mainframes, fast host-to-host connections were new and a big deal, and some new mainframes together, so all in all $4 to $5 million, and it wasn't going to fly without some help. So commissions for sales droid, manager, upper manager, and VP of sales, so a ton of money on the table for them. They got the deal, and I got a surprise bonus, but I still had to go to Boston." Honestly, that VP calling you out in the middle of a meeting was literally just a power move for them. They wanted to show how big their dong was in front of everybody else in that room. That VP seems like a very big entitled jerk, so it's nice to see them eat some humble pie and come to apologize wearing a blue shirt. Our next story today comes to us from Derby Tower 197207. The tiniest thing we offer with literally every modification possible? You got it. Let's jump right in. So this just happened tonight. I've been employed by that lovely ding-dong Mexican restaurant for the better part of 21 years. In that time, I've seen a lot of stupidity, but tonight kind of took the cake. We have been offering a taco version of a chicken sandwich for a couple weeks now. In that time, people have tried to add a few things here and there to it, but the sandwich, taco, is so small that not a lot fits. I've had to turn down a couple of requests for some modifications because what the customer ordered won't fit on the taco without making it a soppy sauce-covered mess. Enter delivery. Corporate has the mindset of, if the customer wants it, they can have it. Delivery is compliant with that directive, me, not so much. I will make what the customer wants to the best of my ability, but if it can't fit or it breaks while trying, I try to do the best I can and include a note as to why I couldn't do what the customer wanted. I worked a 21-hour day yesterday at 2 different stores and was not up to working today. However, I dutifully reported for my shift, just not in my normal chipper mood. From the moment I clocked in right up until this happened, the day was somewhat uneventful. The normal pissy customers, the normal pissy employees, and a couple people who are in such a good mood that it almost seems unhealthy. At about 10:30, a delivery order comes in for 2 chicken sandwich tacos, plus a few other things. Not too bad for a normal order. However, this order was anything but normal. The chicken sandwich tacos literally included every possible item that we dress tacos and burritos with. By this point, I'm tired, cranky, and in a mood, and I decided that I had had enough. Enter malicious compliance. I placed the 2 pieces of 3.5-inch flatbread into a bowl. I added each of the 4 sauces, plus extra of the one he asked us for as well. Then the cheese, red sauce, chicken, steak, rice, beef, beans, black beans, lettuce, tomato, more cheese, more cheddar cheese, guac and jalapenos on top of the now soaked flatbread. On top of this saucy, gelatinous mess, I laid one of the smallest pieces of chicken we had fried up on top of it. I then placed a lid on the bowl, sealed it up, bagged it up. This thing weighed at least 2 pounds versus the normal 5.3 ounces, placed the name on the bag, and sent it on its way. Not 25 minutes later, we got a call from the customer asking us to refund her order because it was nothing like she expected. I told her that a refund was not possible because she received the food exactly as she had ordered it. She promptly hung up on me. I smiled from ear to ear, knowing that that customer probably threw them away because she wanted to be special. You are, honey, but not for the reason you think. OP mentioned that one of those sandwiches was normally about $3.79, but with all the modifications came out to $29.86. That's absolutely crazy. Our next story today comes to us from Lovebot AI. That technique won't work. Try it. Let's jump right in. I'm gonna start off by saying that I'm not proud of this one. It resulted in a good person getting hurt, and if I had the chance to do it all over again, I would have made different choices. That being said, it does fit the sub. When I was a teenager, I was really into martial arts, and I was training at a dojo 5 times a week. Master James was a fantastic martial artist, and he had a real talent for teaching. His only problem was that he thought techniques should be taught and practiced the same way that he learned. There should be no variations. If you follow his dogma, you would learn a lot and become a competent fighter. But I was the kind of person who would always look for ways to do things better. One day, I was teaching the newer students how to do a shoulder throw. You would grab hold of someone's arm, put your back to their chest, and throw them over your shoulder. I started by showing them exactly how I was taught. Then I told them, we won't be doing this in practice, but if you want to really hurt someone, you can rotate the arm inwards like this. Rotating the arm gave you the same leverage to perform the throw, but it would put additional pressure on the shoulder, bending it in an unnatural way that would damage the rotator cuff. Master James heard me saying this and told me that the technique wouldn't work with that kind of modification. I tried to explain my rationale behind it, but he wasn't open to dissent, and he wanted to prove me wrong. He told me, try it on me, do it like it's a real fight. Here's the thing, I knew it would work. I knew it would hurt him. Even so, he asked for it, so I should do it, right? That's what I thought anyway. So with the whole class watching, I did the throw. I rotated the arm, and I could feel him resisting at first. Then, he must have felt what was happening, and the only thing he could do was go with it and try to minimize the damage. But it was too late. I threw him down onto the mats and felt a pop against my shoulder. Master James laid there for a few moments, breathing heavily. Then he stood up without using his right arm and addressed the class. We are going to stick to the techniques that I taught you. His right arm was in a sling for the next month. So the master, knowing just how damaging some of these moves in martial arts can be, dared a teenager to hurt him in front of the entire class. That was a dumb move. I do want to mention though that I don't agree with teaching the students a more dangerous version of the technique because they're not even experienced with the first one. Let them get that down and then maybe teach them a little bit afterwards. Check out all 5 OPs linked in the description down below. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day and we'll see you tomorrow.